Good morning all. Today we can start our next chapter, second chapter fraction. Okay. So when we fractions are the numbers which can be expressed in the form a by b. Okay, you know a fraction is in the form a by b, where a and b are natural numbers. For a and b can take any natural numbers, then that types of numbers are called fractions. For example, 2 by 3. 2 by 3. This is in the form of a by b. General form we can say as a by b. Then for a and b we can take any natural numbers. Then one example is 2 by 3. Here 2 is numerator and 3 is denominator. That all of you know. Then this form of the numbers are called fraction form. Then different types of fractions also you studied in lower classes. Which are that? First one is like fractions. Like fractions means if the denominators of that fractions, if it is same, such fractions are called like fractions. For one example, for 2 by 3 we can take one like fraction of 2 by 3, we can write it as 4 by 3. Okay, another one 1 by 3. Now here all these fractions denominators are same, then such fractions are called like fractions. So first one discussed like fraction. Next, unlike fraction. So it will be its opposite. Unlike fractions means if the new denominators of the fractions, if it is different numbers, then such fractions are called unlike fractions. Examples are 3 by 5, 2 by 3. These two fractions are unlike fractions because the denominators 5 and 3 are different. So unlike fraction also. Next fraction is proper fraction. What is mean by proper fraction? Proper fraction is if in a fraction, if the numerator is less than the denominator, such fractions are called proper fractions. Proper fraction. Proper fractions. That is, example is 4 by 5. Here the numerator is 4, denominator is 5, so numerator is less than the denominator. Such fractions are called 4 by 5. Different example we can write 10 by 12, another example 15 by 70. All our denominators are greater than the numerator. Such fractions are called proper fraction. Next, improper fraction. Improper fraction is opposite. If the numerator is greater than the denominators, such fractions are called improper fractions. Then example we can write its reverse 5 by 4, 12 by 10. All are improper fractions because their numerators are greater than the denominators. And the value of all proper fraction will be less than 1. Okay, value of all proper fraction will be less than 1 and value of all improper fractions will be greater than 1. Always, for all proper fractions, value always will be less than 1 and all the values of improper fractions will be greater than 1. Next, another type fraction is, can you say which one is proper, improper, and one is mixed fraction. So mixed fraction is a combination of one whole part and a fractional part. You can see 3 and half, we can say 3 and half. So here 3 is whole part and half is fractional part. Such fractions are called mixed fractions. Another example 4 1 by 5. Okay, this fraction part always will be proper. Okay, in the case of mixed fraction, one whole part and one fraction part is there, and that fraction part always will be less, that is proper fractions. And another example 2 3 by 4. All are mixed fractions. Okay, now another fractions basic you studied in next 6th standard is equivalent fraction. How we can find out equivalent fraction of a fraction? By multiplying or dividing by a number. Suppose we want to find out the equivalent fraction of 2 by 3. How we can find out equivalent fraction? Any number you multiply with the numerator and denominator. Same number should be in both the numerator and denominator. Now 3 into 5. I multiplied both the numerator and denominator with 5. So what we will get? 10 by 15. So what we can say, 10 by 15 is an equivalent fraction of 2 by 3. Okay, this way we can find out so many equivalent fraction for a given fraction. To find out another equivalent fraction, the same fraction 2 by 3 we can multiply with another number. Just suppose here multiply with 10. So we will get another equivalent fraction as 20 by 30. Okay, these are you studied in 6th standard. So equivalent fraction, improper fraction, then mixed fraction. These full fractions you want to know. This is a basic of fractions. Then equivalent fraction also we discussed. Then next one is, so just same way we can find out equivalent fraction by division also. Okay, suppose one equivalent fraction is given 50 by 100. 50 by 100. You can find out the equivalent fraction of this by dividing also. Here both the numerator and denominators have a common factor. 50 is common, 10 is common, so many common factors here. So when we divide both with 10, what we will get? 5 by 10. Okay. Otherwise, if 50 by 100, when you both numerator and dividing by 2, what you will get? 25 by 50 and 1 by 2. All are equivalent fraction of 50 by 100. Okay. So, equivalent fraction also clear. Next one is simplest form of a fraction. How we can find out if a fraction given, if it is simplest form or not. Suppose one fraction is given 2 by 3. 2 by 3. Can you find out any common factor in 2 and 3? No common factors other than 1. Only 1 is common factor in both 2 and 3. So what we can say, 2 by 3 is one simplest form of this fraction. Okay. Then another example I give, 4 by 6. Is it simplest form? No, because here 4 and 6 have a common factor 2. When you divide both with 2, you will get another simplest form as 2 by 3. Now 2 by 3 is simplest form, but 4 by 6 is not simplest form because there is a common factor 2 is there. So what is the simplest form of a fraction? A fraction is said to be in simplest form if its numerator and denominator have no common factor other than 1. Okay, these are the main simplest form also we discussed. So these are the main basics of fractions we studied. And also unit fraction also we want to discuss. What is unit fraction? Unit fractions means if in a fraction, if the numerator is 1. Okay, if the numerator is 1, such fractions are called the unit fraction. 1 by 5 is an example. Then 1 by 7 is another example. 1 by 6. All fractions, you look at these fractions, numerator is 1. Such fractions are, we can name as unit fractions. Okay. Then decimal fraction also there. Decimal fractions means if the denominators are the multiples not the powers of 10. Okay. If any 3 by 10, another example like 5 by 100. If the denominators are the powers of 10, if it is powers of 10, then such fractions are called decimal fractions. Okay. This full you want to know as the basic of the fraction. After that we can discuss multiplication and division of fractions. Study well all these definition you want to know. What is the basics of this full definition you want to study well and write the notes. Okay, thank you.